So this is an update for MBA admissions 2026 intake for the NYU Stern full-time MBA program. So let's see what the deadlines are like, as well as what the admissions process is going to require from you, especially as an international applicant. In terms of the MBA programs, NYU Stern offers 3 programs. One is the full-time 2-year MBA program, then is the Tech and Entrepreneurship MBA, and then the Luxury and the Retail MBA. So the Tech and the Entrepreneurship MBA and the Luxury and Retail MBA offered by NYU Stern, they are both 1-year MBA programs, which are specialized to the respective fields that you are coming from. How competitive is the NYU Stern MBA application process? For the NYU Stern MBA class of 2026, there were around 4550 applications, and the admissions rate is around 25% at NYU Stern. The average GMAT score is around 733. The average age in class is around 28 years, and there is a 40% international citizenship which is represented across 50 countries. Now, coming to the deadlines for the NYU Stern MBA applications for the full-time MBA program, the deadlines are September 15th, 2025 is the first round of applications. The second round deadline is October 15th, 2025. The third round deadline is January 15, 26, and the round 4 deadline is 15th of April 2026. So if this is your target program, then you should, as an international applicant, look to submit your applications by the round 1 deadline, that is 15th of September, or the round 2 deadline by 15th of October. The Tech MBA and the Luxury and Retail MBA deadlines are slightly different. The round 1 for the Tech MBA and the Luxury and Retail MBA at NYU Stern closes on 5th of September 2025. The round 2 closes on 5th of November 2025. Round 3 deadlines are 5th of January 26, and the round 4 ends on 5th of February 2026. These are the 1-year full-time MBA programs. For the specializations or for the professionals who are coming from this niche background. Now, what are the eligibility criteria for applying to the NYU Stern MBA, especially if you're an Indian applicant? So, a 4 years bachelor's degree from an accredited US institution, or in terms of the international degrees, an equivalent 4-year bachelor's degree is accepted. The 3-year degrees in India are also considered equivalent and acceptable for the NYU Stern MBA applications. In terms of the English proficiency that you need to submit, it is required an English language proficiency test may be required. In terms of the standardized test score that you need to submit for the NYU Stern MBA programs, these are as follows. For the full-time MBA and the Luxury and Retail MBA, the test scores which are acceptable are the GMAT, GRE, etc. Assessment, LSAT, MCAT, or the TAT scores. There are waivers available for the full-time and the Luxury and Retail MBA programs. However, for the Tech MBA, it is fully test optional for 2026. So in case you are coming from a tech background and you're looking at a 1-year MBA program, the Tech MBA might be a good option for you. It is test optional for the year 2026 applications. And the other application components that you need to submit for the NYU Stern MBA programs is the online application, your resume. There are required essays along with the professional recommendations which are required, transcripts, your test scores unless you have waived it, and the application fee. Indian applicants with the 3-year degrees like the BCom, BBA, BSc have historically been admitted to Stern. So there have been no issues as such. So if your profile is competitive, you can put up your application to the NYU Stern MBA programs with a 3-year degree from India as well. Now, in terms of the test waiver for the NYU Stern applications, where are the waivers available? So for the full-time MBA program, you can apply for a waiver. The Luxury and Retail MBA, the test is definitely required. There are no waivers for that. And for the Tech MBA, it is fully test optional for the 2026 application cycle. You have to apply for the full-time MBA programs for the test waivers in a separate format. So make sure that you are going to the website and deciding ahead of time whether you want to go ahead with or a test waiver. So please put that application up in time. Who should go in for a test waiver? Whether the test waiver is a good idea to go ahead with is something that is very much dependent on your specific profiles. So if you want a profile evaluation, you can get in touch with us. But technically, if we look at why and who should go in for a test waiver, it is you should definitely be a strong candidate in terms of, let's say, some quantitative or analytical skills as a part of your degree. If your undergrad degree is in finance, economics, engineering, or STEM, then you can be a strong candidate for this test waiver. Then a strong undergrad GPA will definitely be a plus. If you have professional assessments like the CFA, CPA, or the Six Sigma, then that will also qualify you as a strong candidate and substantial work experience where you have demonstrated the quantitative component substantially. That will also qualify as your candidature for the test waivers, for applying for a test waiver. Applying for a test waiver technically it does not put you at a backseat. However, if you are very sure, a test waiver is definitely not recommended if you have an academic background in liberal arts or humanities with very little or no quant coursework. If your undergraduate degree did not have enough quant coursework, then don't go in for a test waiver. You will probably not be given one as well. And in case you don't have the requisite certifications or quant heavy professional experience, then also a test waiver is not a good idea for you. Or if you have an average or a week's undergrad GPA, then also the good test score will support your application. So don't go in for a test waiver in that particular case. So however, the decision for this is subject to the complete evaluation of your profile. So in case you want any assistance with that, you can get in touch with us for a specific profile evaluation. Now, what do you need as a part of putting up your application for the NYU Stern MBA? You have to fill an online application. You have to have your university transcripts. So make sure that you have all your transcripts in place. In case you need to approach your university for a duplicate, please do that and start working on your professional resumes. The first things that the admissions committees look at. So work on your resume, detail your work experience and your achievements. And definitely your test scores are going to be an important part of your evaluation. In terms of the GMAT score, the previous benchmark for the GMAT average has been 733 at NYU Stern. So make sure that you are close to that range for a strong application. The higher, the better, of course. Now let's come to the English language proficiency requirements. Who should submit a TOEFL or an IELTS or a Duolingo test for the NYU Stern MBA application, whether you need to do that or not? If you have not completed your undergraduate or graduate degree taught in English, then you must go in for the English language proficiency test. You have to submit that. So degrees which are completed in India are exempt from the English language proficiency test submissions. So you don't need to go in for the TOEFL or the IELTS or the DET tests if you are an Indian applicant. If you hold a non-Indian undergraduate degree or your education was in a language other than English, then it is a good idea to submit the valid test scores. The scores that need to be submitted should not be older than 2 years in terms of the English language proficiency test scores. How does NYU Stern evaluate your application? So the most important criteria that are required to be fulfilled are your IQ and EQ. How do you balance intellectual ability and emotional intelligence? Your professional achievements, career progression, and leadership experience is of prime importance in terms of your evaluation for the NYU Stern MBA. Have clear post MBA goals and how do you fit with Stern? How will Stern help you achieve those goals? That is an exercise that you should start doing now, start doing your research, and also look at your contribution to community as well as ethical leadership. What stories do you have in those prospects? So these are the things that the school will look at when you are submitting your application to NYU Stern. If you are an international applicant, what are the things that are important for you if you are submitting your application to the NYU Stern MBA program? First is please apply early. R1 or R2 are the best rounds to apply to. Visa processing timelines, etc., definitely can be challenging. Early rounds will be important for you as an international applicant, and also they will also give you a better scholarship consideration. As an international applicant, clarify your post MBA career plan. Your essays and your interviews should show a very well researched US career path. If you're returning back home, then show clarity as to how the NYU MBA will really help you. So work on your career goals, work on your career plans, especially for the geography that you are planning to go to. Then leverage. As an international applicant, you also need to work on how you will contribute to the Stern classroom, how you will add value in terms of adding to the diversity or adding to the interactions or the diverse interactions in the class at NYU Stern. This is going to be an important aspect of your application. And then also think about whether you really want the GMAT or the GRE test waiver, or whether you want to go in for the test score submissions, because adding a test score to your application as an international applicant will definitely make it much more competitive. What are the essays that are required to be submitted for the NYU Stern MBA application this year? So the first is the short answer question. What are your short-term career goals? The limit for this is 150 words. There is a very specific direction in terms of how your document should be punctuated as well as constructed. So please follow those instructions. And what exactly you need to add over here is, how do you connect your past achievements to your future aspirations? So that research that you are doing in terms of your career goals, this is where it translates. You need to briefly mention about how Stern's unique resources will align with your goals. What has your career progression been till date? And then how does it relate to what you want to do in the future? So, this is the first essay that you need to write as a part of your MBA application. The first essay is a short answer question where you have to, in 150 words, talk about your short term career goals. Now, in terms of your short term career goals, you can always look at connecting your past achievements to the future aspirations you have. The research that you are doing in terms of your career goals will be very valuable over here, and also mention as to how Stern's unique resources will align with your goals. Be specific about the programs and opportunities in this essay. The next essay that you need to submit for the NYU Stern MBA application is limited to 350 words. So, using NYU Stern's brand call to action, change dash it, pick a word that resonates with your mindset and explain why. This essay reveals your unique approach to transformation. Which word do you select? Select it very authentically. Give a compelling personal story in terms of why you resonate with that particular word, and then also connect it strategically to the opportunities and your career vision that you have post MBA in terms of how NYU Stern will help you achieve that career path. So authenticity is key in this essay, as well as looking at the words that really connect to you. The next essay is also very interesting. You need to introduce yourself using 6 images and 1 sentence captions with a short overview, a maximum of 3 sentences each. So show personal growth, choose the images that reveal your journey and transformation. Look at identifying those moments that have shaped your character. Balance your professional as well as personal achievements. Mix career achievements with outside passions in case you have a strong extracurricular profile. You can also bring that in. These 6 images should paint a complete picture of your professional as well as personal competencies. Craft powerful captions, write concise 1 sentence captions that really add meaning, and they should resonate with you as well. And the 3 sentence overview should tie everything together cohesively. So, this is how you can go about doing this, and also focus on a professional presentation. You can use Canva or PowerPoint. Create a very clean magazine style layout that enhances your visual story. Make sure that this is a visual representation of your personal and professional brand. The next essay that you need to submit for the NYU Stern application is share any information that provides context to your profile. You have a word limit of 500 words for this. Now, use this essay to explain any gaps, address any work history gaps, low grades, career changes, and keep it very honest. Keep the explanations brief, focus on the growth path that you have achieved. Maintain authenticity, show your emotional intelligence. So EQ and IQ are important aspects that will be evaluated throughout the NYU Stern MBA application. So make sure that your responses relate to that. Share relevant personal circumstances that affected your application, and also reinforce with the EQ IQ model. Highlight how your unique circumstances have prepared you for the Stern community. So this is a 500 word optional essay. It is not to restate, you should not use this essay to restate your goals or add any fluff. Use it very strategically to address specific concerns in your application, if any. Now comes the EQ endorsements, or the recommendation letters in a way. So, how many recommendation letters or EQ endorsements are required by the NYU Stern MBA process? You need to submit one mandatory EQ endorsement that is required through the application. It has to be submitted through the NYU Stern online application system. And the second one is optional. If you think you need to add another one and there is a very important context that can be added with the third one, then you have the option of submitting a third one as well. So submit 1 to 2 endorsements at max, 3 just in case you have very specific information to add through that particular endorsement. What are the kind of questions that will be asked in your EQ recommendation or EQ endorsement? First is the relationship context. Your recommenders, they need to describe the professional interaction that they have had with you and your role in the organization. Then performance comparison, feedback response, how do you react to constructive criticism and grow from it? Again, the EQ is an important aspect of this particular submission. So your recommenders should also be able to give a compelling story showing your emotional intelligence in action. And then there is an optional space for the final endorsement of your fit with the Stern community. So this is what you require in terms of the EQ endorsements for the NYU Stern MBA program this year. In case you need assistance with the profile evaluation or in terms of an application strategy, working on your application, trying to identify your strengths and weaknesses and how your essays for essay reviews in terms of how your essays, really demonstrate EQ and leadership potential, get in touch with us. Feel free to get in touch with us for the application support as well as for the interview preparation. You can reach out to GOALisB through our website and we can assist you with the same. So what are the next steps for you as an NYU Stern MBA applicant? For the first thing that you need to do is research the program. Thoroughly explore the MBA programs. There are 3 MBA programs which are offered by NYU Stern. See which one fits your profile and fits your career goals, and then identify the program that you want to apply to. The deadlines we have already shared over here for the NYU Stern MBA programs. Plan your timeline. Round 1 or round 2 is ideal for an international applicant scenario. Then prepare your application components, work on your resume, essays, recommendations, reach out for your EQ endorsements, and determine your standardized test strategy. Do you really want to get into a GMAT or a GRE test waiver? If yes, then do craft your application in that manner and also apply for the test waiver on time, so that in case you are not given the test waiver, then you can start preparing for your GMAT or your GRE as well. And in case you need any support in the process, feel free to get in touch with us. So all the best for your NYU Stern MBA applications, and we'll be getting in touch with you for more updates as and when we have for the international as well as the Indian MBA programs.